Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman was annihilated by Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline on the June 28th episode of SmackDown after weeks of torment. But Heyman is once again active like before on social media thanks to Roman Reigns' comeback at SummerSlam on August 3rd. Ahead of tonight's episode of The Blue Brand, the Wiseman dropped teases as the OTC is scheduled to make an appearance. Whether he joins Reigns on the show bears watching. Meanwhile, it has been made official that tomorrow night, August 17th, Heyman will be at Fanatics Fest NYC. He will be followed by former WWE champions Drew McIntyre and The Miz on Sunday, August 18th. The 58-year-old veteran took to Instagram to promote his upcoming appearance, which you can watch by clicking here. Since being booted out of the Bloodline by Solo Sikoa, the Wiseman has been spotted on numerous occasions. Notably, at Roman Reigns' father Sikoa's funeral service. Paul Heyman believes the Bloodline's new era in WWE will surpass all previous works. It was the Wiseman and Roman Reigns who introduced this storyline in 2020 upon the latter's WWE return after a prolonged absence. Heyman famously stated that they were in their third inning after the Tribal Chief's controversial victory over Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 39. During an interview with Jeremy Hanna of Newsweek, Paul Heyman opened up about the Bloodline in WWE. He claimed that there are endless possibilities for the ongoing storyline, while also adding that whatever they pull off in the coming months will put their past work to shame. We are now in a new era of the Bloodline story with Roman Reigns as not the champion. How does he correct that? How does he take back the name of the Tribal Chief? Who is the head of the table, Solo or Roman Reigns? Jimmy is not here. Jay is not here. The Wiseman is not back yet. How does Roman Reigns deal with those on his own? We have a long road ahead of us, Heyman said. All I can say is, for me, how I see the trajectory of it and the many ways we can go about it, it's going to be fascinating and will hopefully put our past 4 years of work to shame. In the closing moments of last week's SmackDown, Roman Reigns made his much-awaited return to Friday nights and destroyed the Tongans, who were brought into the Bloodline by Solo Sikoa. It remains to be seen how Sikoa retaliates. Moreover, Reigns has yet to get on the mic and address his comeback to the island of relevancy. The lights in the packed arena dimmed as the murmurs from the crowd began to build. Fans were eager, expectant. It had only been a week since the shocking WWE SmackDown attack that left everyone buzzing with questions, and tonight, the answer they all awaited would finally be revealed. The cameras were already rolling for a special segment of WWE programming, and every eye in the building was fixed on the stage. The iconic sounds of "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman" echoed in their heads, but there was no telling how the advocate, the mastermind, the manipulator, would present himself tonight. Rumors had been swirling. After Roman Reigns' brutal ambush on Heyman, his longtime special counsel, many wondered if this was the beginning of a new chapter in the storied Bloodline saga, or perhaps the end of Heyman's illustrious career. The spotlight flared to life, illuminating the ramp. The crowd's roar reached a fever pitch. But instead of Paul Heyman immediately stepping out, his signature music blared across the speakers. The deep, menacing undertones accompanied by the dramatic beat filled the space, raising the tension. Then, finally, a figure emerged, not Paul Heyman, but a man draped in a long trench coat, head bowed. It wasn't until the figure reached the center of the ramp that he paused, removed his hood, and revealed himself as none other than Solo Sikoa, the Samoan enforcer of the Bloodline. The crowd erupted, a mixture of boos and cheers, their loyalties divided. Solo stood still, almost statuesque, his presence exuding the same silent menace that had become his calling card. The crowd's energy heightened, but their confusion grew. Where was Heyman? Was this another mind game orchestrated by the wise man? As if on cue, a spotlight flickered onto the Titantron, and there, larger than life, was Paul Heyman seated comfortably in a plush leather chair, backstage in a secluded area, away from the chaos of the crowd. He wore his usual dark suit, a red tie completing the ensemble, but there was an unfamiliar tightness in his expression. His eyes gleamed with a subtle mix of anger and amusement. The silence in the arena was deafening, all waiting for Heyman's first words. "Ladies and gentlemen." Heyman's voice was soft, yet unmistakably powerful. "My name is Paul Heyman, and tonight, I speak not as an advocate, not as the special counsel to Roman Reigns, but as a man who has just experienced the cold sting of betrayal." A murmur rippled through the audience. The camera zoomed in on Heyman's face, where for the first time, genuine vulnerability flickered beneath the surface. The entire world witnessed Roman Reigns, the man I have guided to heights no one else could achieve, lay his hands on me. On me! His loyal advisor. His confidant. The one man who turned him into the tribal chief. Heyman's voice rose with each word, the emotion in his tone palpable. The crowd watched in stunned silence, captivated by every word. And what, pray tell, does this betrayal mean? Does it mean that Roman Reigns has truly lost sight of what matters? Has he forgotten that it was I who stood by him through every championship reign, through every grueling battle, through every whisper of doubt? Heyman paused, letting the gravity of his words sink in. Or, Heyman's tone shifted, a devilish smile curling at the edge of his lips. Could it be that Roman Reigns has simply forgotten his place in the grand design that I, Paul Heyman, have constructed? Could it be that the tribal chief is now too arrogant to see that he is merely a pawn in a game that I control? The crowd gasped. It was vintage Heyman, turning what seemed like a moment of weakness into a declaration of absolute power. Solo Sikoa stood motionless on the stage, but there was a glint in his eyes, as if he too was waiting for the next revelation. You see, Roman may have dealt the first blow, but the war is far from over. I have spent decades in this business, and I have outsmarted the best of them. Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, The Undertaker, and now Roman Reigns? He may be the tribal chief, but I am the emperor of the WWE Universe. Heyman leaned forward in his chair, his face filling the entire screen. And emperors, dear Roman, do not bow to kings. The crowd exploded in cheers and gasps, understanding the gravity of Heyman's words. Was this the beginning of the end for Reigns' reign as tribal chief? But mark my words, Heyman continued, his voice now dripping with a sinister calm. I do not simply seek retribution. No, that would be too simple. What I seek is the complete and utter dismantling of the empire you built on my back, Roman. And I will not do it alone. Suddenly, the camera panned to the right, revealing a shadowy figure standing just behind Heyman, hidden in the dark. The figure stepped forward, and the crowd collectively gasped as the lights revealed a towering, 6'8" monster of a man. His face was obscured, but his sheer size and presence sent waves of anticipation through the audience. Meet your new reckoning, Roman, Heyman declared, his voice taking on a dark, triumphant tone. This is my enforcer. My insurance policy. My weapon of destruction. The mysterious man loomed ominously behind Heyman, his identity still a mystery, but his threat unmistakable. The crowd chanted and speculated, wondering who this behemoth was and how he would factor into the unfolding drama. Heyman stood from his chair and buttoned his suit jacket, looking directly into the camera. Roman, you may have thought that by attacking me, you were sending a message. But you have only awakened a far more dangerous force than you could ever comprehend. The screen cut to black, leaving the arena in stunned silence. As Solo Sikoa finally made his exit, one thing was clear, Paul Heyman wasn't just back. He was back with a vengeance. And for Roman Reigns, the true war had only just begun.